Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is not a coincidence. You didn't just click on this video by chance. God is trying to reach you right now, because something is happening in your life that you might not understand yet. Everything may feel confusing, silent, or even painful, but this silence, this delay, this tension you feel deep in your soul, is not punishment. It's preparation. You're being elevated, even if it doesn't look like it. There are 5 divine signs that God is moving you into a higher level. And if you're experiencing them, your entire life is about to shift. But before I tell you these signs, I need you to open your heart and your spirit. Don't just listen with your ears, listen with your soul. Because this message is your confirmation. God says, "My child, I am elevating you. You are being transformed from who you were into who you were born to be." Before we continue, take a moment to comment down below, "I received this message," if your heart already feels that something powerful is coming. Because when you speak faith, you activate it. When you declare it, you claim it. Now listen. Elevation never begins in comfort. It begins in disruption. God doesn't lift you higher when everything is calm. He lifts you when you are tested, when things are shifting, when people walk away, and when your life feels like it's falling apart. Because only then can He rebuild you into what He destined you to become. You see, God never wastes pain. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What you thought was loss was positioning. And that pressure you're feeling right now, that's not the end of you. It's the push before the breakthrough. The first sign that God is elevating you is divine separation. Suddenly, people start leaving. You notice certain relationships, friendships, even family connections begin to fade. You try to hold on, but something feels off. Conversations feel forced. Energy feels heavy, and no matter how hard you try, you just don't fit in the same circles anymore. You think you're losing people, but in truth, God is protecting your purpose. He's removing those who can't go where you're going. Some people are attached to your old season, but your new season requires a different version of you, a stronger, wiser, and more spiritual version. That's why He's shifting your surroundings. Because before elevation comes separation. Before He takes you up, He clears your path. In the natural world, when a rocket is about to launch, it releases parts that are no longer needed for the journey. The higher it goes, the more it sheds. And God says, "I'm doing the same with you." Some people can't handle the altitude of your calling. They were good for your growth, but not for your elevation. Don't cry over who left. Thank me for who stayed. And yes, it's lonely sometimes. You may feel isolated, wondering why no one understands you anymore. But remember, God does His best work in silence and solitude. When He separates you, it's not rejection. It's incubation. He hides you while He prepares you. The second sign that God is elevating you is inner restlessness. Something in you just doesn't feel comfortable where you are. You can't explain it, but you sense that your spirit is too big for your current environment. You wake up feeling like there's more. You try to go about your daily life, work, family, friends, but deep down, you know something is shifting. You're outgrowing things that once made you happy. You're craving purpose instead of popularity, peace instead of noise, and truth instead of comfort. That's because when God is elevating you, He creates divine discomfort. He stirs your soul so that you won't settle for less than what He planned for you. The same way a bird pushes its young out of the nest, God pushes you out of comfort to force your wings to open. You may not see it yet, but you're being stretched. Every challenge, every frustration, every delay is shaping your spirit for something bigger. Don't fight it, flow with it. Because the very thing that feels uncomfortable right now is the proof that God is promoting you. And here's something powerful. When you're being elevated, distractions multiply. Suddenly, things you thought you'd overcome start showing up again. Temptations, doubts, old habits, they try to pull you back. Because the enemy always attacks before promotion. He wants you to stay where you are, but God says, stand firm. You are closer than you think. When you start seeing everything falling apart, your relationships, your plans, your confidence, it's not that everything is breaking. It's that everything false is being removed. Only truth can go with you to the next level. The third sign that God is elevating you is divine delay. You've been praying, waiting, believing, but nothing seems to move. You see others getting blessed, promoted, loved, successful, and you wonder, what about me? But what if I told you that God's delay is your protection? That is not yet is not no, it's I'm not finished preparing it for you. You see, elevation takes structure. If God gave you what you asked for too early, you might lose it. So instead, He strengthens your patience, your wisdom, and your faith. He builds your character before He builds your blessings. Because if your character doesn't match your calling, the blessing will crush you instead of bless you. Look at your life. Every delay, every closed door, every unanswered prayer has a reason. Maybe you didn't get that job because God had a higher one waiting. Maybe that relationship ended because your next one is divine. Maybe what you thought was a failure was actually God's rerouting. Faith is not just believing when you see, it's trusting when you don't. That's how God elevates your spirit, by teaching you to believe beyond sight. And let me tell you something, the waiting room is not a wasted room. While you're waiting, God is working. You might not see it, but in the invisible, your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Your ideas are being planted in hearts you've never met. Your blessings are aligning step by step. That's how divine timing works. Now, the fourth sign that God is elevating you is spiritual sensitivity. Suddenly you begin to notice patterns, repeated numbers, dreams, signs, words that keep coming up in different places. You start feeling more connected to the spiritual realm. You begin hearing God's voice more clearly, sometimes through people, sometimes through silence. You're not going crazy, you're awakening. When God elevates you, He increases your awareness. Your spirit starts to pick up frequencies your old self couldn't hear. You feel things deeply. You can sense when someone's energy is off, when something isn't right, or when God is warning you to move differently. That's not paranoia, that's divine discernment, because the higher you go, the more you need awareness. The spiritual world becomes louder as your purpose gets clearer. God begins to show you who is real and who is not, what's safe and what's dangerous, what's true and what's false. And sometimes that awareness breaks your heart, because you'll realize not everyone who claps for you is happy for you. Not everyone who prays for you wants you to win. But God says, I'm opening your eyes so you won't be blind in your next season. The truth might hurt, but it also heals. So if you've been feeling spiritually sensitive lately, pay attention. That's elevation. You're being trained for discernment, because your next level will require sharper vision. And that leads us to the final sign, divine alignment. Everything starts making sense. The pain that once confused you begins to reveal its purpose. The doors that closed start showing why they needed to. The people who left are replaced by those who push you forward. Opportunities start flowing in ways you can't explain. You find yourself at the right place, meeting the right people at the right time. That's not luck, that's divine alignment. It's when God connects the invisible dots of your journey and suddenly everything falls into place. Elevation doesn't come overnight. It comes through obedience. It's not about what you gain, it's about what you become. And when God elevates you, He elevates your mindset, your character, your purpose, and your peace. Now, I want you to think about your life right now. Are you being separated from people you once loved? Are you feeling restless, uncomfortable, or spiritually awake? Are you waiting longer than you expected? If yes, God is elevating you. He's saying, "My child, I know it's hard. I know you're tired. I know you've cried in silence. But I'm not done with you. I'm stretching you, refining you, preparing you. What I have planned for you is greater than what you've lost. And listen carefully. Don't fight the process. The same pressure that breaks others will build you. The same storm that sinks ships will lift your faith. The same pain that tried to destroy you will be the testimony that saves someone else. When God elevates you, He doesn't just change your situation, He changes you. You start walking differently, thinking differently, speaking differently. You stop chasing things that don't align with your purpose. You find peace in letting go. People may not understand your transformation, and that's okay. You're not meant to be understood. You're meant to be elevated. The next chapter of your life will not require explanation. It will reveal manifestation. So don't fear the silence. Don't doubt the delay. Don't mourn the loss. Every single thing that's happening to you is working for you. You might not see it yet, but when it unfolds, you'll thank God for not giving up on you when you almost gave up on yourself. Now, if this message spoke to your spirit, I want you to declare this with me in the comments. God is elevating me. Say it boldly, because life and death are in the power of the tongue. Speak what you believe, and remember, you were never meant to stay small. You were meant to rise, to evolve, to shine. The world may not be ready, but heaven already approved it. So walk in faith, because your elevation season has begun. Keep trusting even when you can't trace. Keep walking even when you don't see the path, because the God who started this work in you will finish it perfectly. Now, take a deep breath. Lift your head high. Smile through the storm. You are not breaking, you are becoming. God says, I am elevating you. The tears you cried in private are watering the seeds of your public blessing. The pain you felt is the push toward your purpose. Keep going, because what's ahead is greater than what's behind. You are chosen. You are seen. You are rising, and no force on earth can stop what God has already written for you. If this message found you, it's because you're stepping into your divine promotion. Receive it, believe it, and walk in it. Your elevation starts now.